in a pinch, whenever I don't have a bottom strainer, well, I have a bottom strainer.
That's a great tip.
I've had those probably a good 10 years.
There's a big roach right there.
Wow. What's up, YouTube? Ryan, aka the Lucky Schmuck, back here again with another video for you. And today I'm going to take you on a tour of my friend Rob's place and all his tanks. Now, this is going to be my first time over there. I've actually met Rob about 5-6 months ago on Craigslist, buying, selling, and trading stuff. I actually got some corridors from him, so we'll definitely see some cories while we're over there. And he's got a bunch of other stuff. He rescues a bunch of fish, so he has some bigger fish. I'm really excited to take a look. Like I said, I have not seen his stuff. I've seen some pictures, but really looking forward to seeing what he has. So let's get to it. All right, so we're here at Rob's house. We're going to check out a few of his tanks. We're in a room. We got 2 big tanks to start. So why don't you go, let's get started. Talk about the top one. What kind of size, what you got in there, man?
Actually, both the same size. It's either 290-gallon tanks, and of course I bought them similarly the way you get yours. Just, you know, talking to people online and everything, same way. I got a decent deal on both of these, but I got them at separate times. The stand I built myself out of wood. I couldn't find a stand that gave me enough clearance to handle both the tanks. So thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, they came out all right. I just clear coated it a little bit just for a little waterproofing. But you want to talk about the top tank? I got a mix of fish in here. I got some cories down here on the bottom, both the albino and the green. Most of these fish were inherited. I think you'll recognize some of the little mollies. I think I may have gotten those from you, right? And they're getting big. Yeah, they're getting big.
That's awesome.
They're getting big.
Grow and get along with some of the bigger guys here. Is that a severum?
Yeah, that's a big severum. And these, of course, are the Parrots, and these are kind of a hybrid thingy. I can't really figure out if it's more of a severum or a parrot, but there he is, and there's 2 of them. They're kind of a peachy color.
So I noticed this sitting here in the corner. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I'm kind of an over filter type of guy. So I have the 2 110s hanging in the back, but I always want more filtration, right? So I got these power heads. I probably picked up like 6 or 7 of them. And also got, this is actually a sponge filter that would be going probably on one of those filters, kind of having this tank over here where you run it with air. Okay. And all I did was sew the one side of it. And I'm kind of experimenting with the different filter types. I know that you've had a couple, like the big filter sheets, and you cut them down. Exactly. Kind of experimenting a little bit myself. So I just sewed it up on the top, and I just go ahead and put it on there. So not only does it blow in that stream that some of these fish really dig, like the cories, they like laying their eggs in that stream of air. It'll also double up as a little bit more filtration. It does about, I don't know, 230 gallons per hour roughly. So it just adds a little bit more. It's kind of a little kicker of a filter. Substrate down here is ballast from a abandoned railroad track. So I kind of like using stuff that I can find. Just wash them up really good and everything. Just use a scrub brush. And I think they look kind of cool down there. I could probably fill in a couple more spots. But
no, I think it looks awesome. Actually, he was telling me a little bit about that before we started filming, and he's gonna have to show me where to get some because I definitely want to grab some of this rock right here. He said you can go there. It's an abandoned railroad. Here we are at the Mecca of Rock. This is awesome. As you can see, it's a defunct railroad. So we're just gonna grab a few of these rocks.
It's poor man's driftwood. I don't suggest you putting it in your tank, okay, guys? It falls apart. But basically, it's the stuff the sun is beating up, over time. You see, you don't want to put this in there. All this stuff will be nasty in your tank. So, poor man's driftwood. That's what I call it.
So we forgot a bag. So Rob and I are pregnant with rocks in our bellies. I see something hiding in there. Is that a ghost knife?
Yeah, that's a ghost knife. He's cool. He'll only come out every once in a while, and he'll swap from that fake log, and he'll go inside that little hut. I'm not a big fan of the hut, but he seems to like it a lot more than I do, and I'm kind of shocked that he's not in it right now. I know it's hard to tell, but there's also a Raphael down there, and he has not moved in a long time. I don't know if you can just see his big mouth down there.
Yeah, we could take a little bit of a look at him. But yeah, you were telling me that actually there's a funny story behind this hut over here. When you adopted this Raphael catfish, he kind of came with that hut, huh?
He did. He'd only lived in that hut his whole life. He's 15 years plus from what I've been told from the last owner. So he said, just do me a favor, just make sure he's got that hut to live in. And it's funny because ever since I threw him in there, he has no desire to go in that hut. He prefers that little gap down there.
Yeah. You can definitely see him in there. You can tell he's a big boy, but he's definitely hiding.
He is the biggest one I've ever seen.
Is it a Pictus catfish over here?
It is a Pictus. That's one of the newest acquisitions I got with another tank. He came along with some of the buddies down here in his bottom tank. If you want to take a peek at the bottom one.
Go ahead and move down.
Yeah, down here again, just a mix. I like angels, so I got a couple of angels. The first fish I got in here are the pink gouramis.
Okay.
Those were actually rescued from a abandoned fish farm. Some people bought the land and they no longer wanted to do anything with the fish, so they literally left them there to die.
Oh, sheesh.
So a group of us went out there and scooped them up by the hundreds, and these are the ones I kept. There were tons of them. They were living off just the bugs and anything that would fall in the water. There was nobody out there feeding them.
Wow.
The new owners hadn't moved in or started breaking ground, whatever it is they wanted to do. So it's kind of cool. We all took some home and gave away a bunch also.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're a good size. Look really healthy and happy.
I've had those probably a good 10 years, something like that.
This angel right here is ginormous.
He's cute. Yeah, I got him and the marble, the big marble. I got them, the veil tail. I got them all together. He's nice. Got some interesting driftwood that I just picked up from people sporadically. If you've got interesting driftwood, I want it. Yeah. I dig it. I think it's cool.
To come by sometimes.
It is, and I enjoy it. I think it's cool. It's nature. It's kind of neat the way it's formed and everything.
Oh, it's awesome. You got some Bosemani rainbows in there.
I did.
Showing some good color.
They've grown quite a bit. They were probably half that size when I got them. They weren't that big. They're the biggest Bosemanis I've ever seen, at least in anybody's tank. This is really a Loach tank. I know they're not going to cooperate for the camera.
We got one. Is a yo-yo Loach?
Yeah, he's a yo-yo, and he acts like one too. He acts all strange. There's a bigger one in here who dwarfs him in size. He's probably twice as big. Yep, these down here, I've got 4 polka dots or kubatai.
Okay.
If I'm pronouncing that right. There's like 4 in there, and some of them will come out, and some of them will always be hiding. Those are kind of neat. So it's basically my Loach angel tank. It's just what it turned out to be.
So there's some of those hanging out there.
Gotta have those.
Yeah, this definitely tell there's some Loaches hanging out under here in the rocks and stuff. Really, really neat.
There's the big one, finally. There's the big yo-yo, or whatever he is. I think he's a yo-yo, but he has a different pattern than the other smaller yo. Those are the kubutai.
Yeah.
There's like 4 or 5. They're probably there's a big Loach right there.
Oh wow.
Oh, rocket. Yeah, it's feeding time.
There we go. He popped out of nowhere.
Look at that. Here comes a little Loach.
Now, how many clowns are there in there?
4.
Okay.
I'm pretty maxed out. I wish I could have more. Here's one peeking around the corner. Let's see. Yeah, if my big Loach died, I think I would probably have. There's something would happen to me. I mean, he is my pride and joy in fish land right now. He is.
I can see why, man. He's beautiful.
Thanks.
I'd love to get you some more. Like I said, I know that guy in Sarasota with some decent sized ones. I know you're gonna tap that on space, but
I mean, to do them justice, yeah, I could fill this tank up where they're stacked on top of each other, but they're not gonna be happy, you know.
Yeah. And it looks like for filtration, you got some hang-on backs. Mostly looks like you run a bunch of mostly aqua clears, right?
I do. I'm an aqua clear fan. I have mostly aqua clears. There's 2 110s on each tank, and then I go ahead and just for the fun of it, I throw in one of these smaller hang on backs. I don't even know who makes that one, if it's a penguin or whatever. And all I run in there is just like filter floss, basically, just to clean up the little fine stuff that floats around in the water. I do the same thing with the top one also.
Perfect. And then I think you got over here, you got some smaller tanks with some fry and stuff.
I do. Actually, these are mollies. My first batch of molly babies from the mollies you gave me.
Okay.
That hatched in these tanks. Hatched. They're Livebearers. They didn't hatch from anything. But,
I know what you mean. But that's awesome. Yeah, you got some of the mollies and then some platies or something.
I
going on
do.
here.
I got a bunch of platies, and I gave a bunch of them away. And these were the tiniest ones, and I didn't want to give those away until they were a little bit bigger, and kind of keep a few for myself. I haven't decided really what I'm going to do with them yet.
Gotcha. But nice little grow out tank, and then something similarly below it here.
Yeah, another one. They're the bigger of the babies, and
Gotcha.
I threw them down there just to keep that filter going with good bacteria in there. Eventually, they'll all be gone or moved to another tank.
Oh, that's cool. I think that pretty much wraps it up for this room, above the kitchen, between the kitchen and living room. And talk to me a little bit about this one.
Yeah, it's a 55 gallon. This one's been here the longest in the house. I had this one about 15 years probably. And we got a cool center feature I found also in a tank that I had bought. Put that in the center. You got, again, driftwood, which I always acquire from other people if it's interesting. Like I said before, I dig it. Here's some more. This is kind of my signature rock, donated by the Railroads of America, I guess. And I use mostly artificial plants because my lighting in here is not set up for real plants yet. And
Looks good.
I have 270 aqua clears, and I have one ancient one. If anybody knows, by the way, how old a brown aqua clear is, I was dying to know. I don't know if I have the first one that rolled off the factory or what, but
awesome.
He's an oldie goldie. And also there's, I don't know if we can get a shot of any of the little baby plecos. I just had them for the first time. I got baby plecos.
They're hard to see.
They are going to be tough to find, but they're in there, I promise you.
I definitely saw one earlier, so I can attest to that.
I know we enjoy watching the fish tank from both sides, so there is no background on this one, so we can kind of check it out from all angles. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see if we get a better angle. Heck, we might even get lucky and catch one of the little baby plecos in action. I don't know, they kind of dig it around here. I moved things around earlier, so I don't know, I may have found new digs to hang out at.
Created some new spots.
Yeah.
Looks like you got some other cories down here. Looks like some of the false Julie cories.
They are. I just have the two of them right now. That's about it.
Yeah, most of the guys in here are some more Livebearers. You got some black skirt Tetras. I really like how you can take a look at it from both angles, from both sides.
Yeah, it's fun. It's neat. You can see it all the time. We enjoy it.
That's awesome. Well, I think you got some more stuff out in the garage to take a look at next.
Yeah.
You just picked up a 110 gallon.
I did.
Talk to me a little about that. No more in the garage, so the light might not be as great, but this is a really cool tank that he was kind of explaining to me.
Yeah.
You want to tell me the story behind this one a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. You all saw the 90 gallons, and I always wanted a 110, which will fit on that stand nicely. It's just a little bit taller. So I got to clean it up a little bit. So I got a decent deal on it. It's the old school one that's got the really thick glass. Never had one of these before, never messed with one before. It's incredibly heavy. I don't know how successful I'll be in refurbishing it, but I'm going to give it a whirl.
See, his garage is, at least this half is all tanks there. And then, of course, back in this corner, we got smaller tanks and more tanks on top of tanks.
Yeah, I use these 10 gallons. I mean, they're for sale also, but I'll use them also for quarantine tanks. If I have some fish that don't exactly fit into my tanks, I'll keep them out here and I'll give them away to other people who need fish.
This is your little nook and cranny where you keep some of your...
It is. I'll go ahead and throw all my decorations in here and the plants that I've acquired over the years. And these will be all my filters.
This is your hoard of AquaClear filters in here?
It is, yeah. I think I might have a problem with AquaClears. I'm hoping there's a group or something to get off that addiction. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying myself. So.
That's awesome.
There's the smaller filters I've acquired, and they'll put them on tanks if people need them. I'll have them. Let's see what's in here. I don't know. These are the bottoms. Actually, this is something I do. I don't use. In fact, most people don't use these anymore. Is the what do you call it? The undergravels, right? These are the tops for the undergravels.
Okay, yeah.
So they also fit the other way around. So whenever in a pinch, whenever I don't have a bottom strainer,
Yeah.
well, I have a bottom strainer.
That's a great tip.
That's what I do with them. So I'll go ahead and throw them in here. And there is a little hole here, but I find that just a little bit of silicone and patch up the hole, and away you go.
So, Rob, appreciate you letting me stop by and checking out and film all your tanks. Like,
Sure.
This is my first time here, so it was really a blast. I've
Thanks.
seen pictures and heard some things, but it was really nice. I appreciate you opening the doors.
Sure.
One thing I want to ask you, and I'm going to ask everybody that I take a tour of their fish tanks and fish room, and that is, clearly it looks like fish keeping is one of your passions. Is there something else that you're passionate about, that you have passion for?
I'm a big believer in passing it forward.
Okay.
I know it's been a trend lately, but I've always believed that if you're blessed, and I am, with a lot of things, just pass along the ones that you no longer use to others, and you'd be amazed at how much how good it feels to do that. And you can bless someone else in the process, because it truly is one man's trash is another man's treasure type deal. I believe that. I've always believed that. I kind of got that instilled a long time ago. So that's my one thing that I'm passionate about. Just keep it moving forward.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. Like I said, thanks again, and I'm sure we'll be back to check out the tanks, sometime soon.
All right, anytime.